Thank you very much. I really do appreciate everyone coming, and I know that you have choices, and I know it's a time of day with your busy schedules, but we wanted to really make this a special occasion to really recognize these young men that are joining our program and being colonels. I want to give some special thanks, though. Again, you know, Michelle Keefe, all of her tremendous work that she helps me with, and we tried to get this organized, but she goes well above and beyond, and I really do appreciate her efforts. One person I'd like to introduce is Jamie Bustos. Jamie, if you'd stand for a second. Jamie right here is one of our new sports information directors. That's from him, and he's helped me a lot making this successful today. Got some special thanks, too, to a few people that's really helped us a lot. I want to really special thanks to Canadas, especially Vince Canada and Jimmy Blakeman. They've really helped me a lot all through the year with just always being there to help me with little goodies here or there and food and different things just to help these events go well. But they've helped a lot today with a lot of the food items that you see back there. Also, Glenn Dietrich, who you know is a super loyal supporter of Nicholls State Athletics, you know, president right now of the Colonel Athletic Association, but he helped us a lot with the chicken fingers today in the Cycle World, his business that he runs. But again, I really do appreciate it, Glenn. And then, of course, Crescent Crown and Don Duran helps me a lot with all the fluids and everything. So we got a little bit of everything for you. The only thing I forgot is hot chocolate because it's cool outside. I got all these ice drinks, but we'll make it. First thing I want to do, too, as we get going with the recruiting part of this, is that our recruiting effort is a team effort. It's not a one-man show or anything like that. And I want to introduce my staff because some of you don't even know these guys, but they're tremendous hard workers. And I just want to, and if they'll stand up or wave wherever they're at, they don't have to come up front or anything like that. One thing I'd like to give a real special thanks, and I think all of our coaches would commend him, is Coach Chuck Heppola. Coach Heppola is our recruiting coordinator. There he is waving, and also our running back coach. Chuck does a tremendous, a great job for us. I mean, he helps organize all of our events and recruiting, but again, he's my right-hand man on a lot of these activities, but I really do appreciate him and his professionalism and how he deals with things. On the defensive side of the ball, if I go to them real quick, I got Jeremy Atwell as our defensive coordinator there, and he coaches our linebackers. Bobby April. Bobby coaches our special ops, and he's our safety coach. Coach Edward Dillon, he coaches our cornerbacks. Coach Dustin Gisclair. Dustin coaches our defensive line. Then on the offensive side of the ball, Coach Keith Uparesa coaches our offensive line, back to back. Coach Justin Anderson coaches our wide receivers. There he is. Coach Adam Gardner coaches our tight ends. And Coach Mario Cabarel is our offensive GA right here. And you guys know more than anything about in coaching, and you pick up the paper all the time. I'm really pleased to say at this moment right now that I don't have any changes or anybody leaving or anything like that, which I really believe will enhance our program because of continuity. And I'm really excited about that because in this day and age, it don't always happen. The next couple I'd like to introduce real quick because they did a tremendous job in our recruiting efforts of helping with presentations. We have Brian Thomas, our strength coach, back there. Thanks, Brian. Here's Kerry Connor. Kerry's our equipment manager. Did a tremendous job. Some of you might not know in recruiting, when you bring those recruits in, they want to see what they're wearing. They want to look at the shoes. They want to look at everything. I mean, it's unbelievable what you have to show them in the strength program and all that. They don't just look at the X's and O's. A special thanks to our academic personnel that help us in all their services. We've got Erica Calais. Erica, just wave. We got Lori Henry. We got Bobby Galinsky. All of them, I think you know them very well, but they do a great job with academic presentations for us and also evaluating transcripts and all the kind of things that we hit them up with to make sure we're recruiting the proper type of student athletes that would fit in here academically. And then again, last but not least is Miss Amelie. Amelie's in the back. She's done a great job for us. She keeps me going. She's got a lot of knowledge about how things work here at Nicholls, but she did a tremendous job of getting all the paperwork together, all the scholarships out, and all those kind of things. So I really do appreciate it, Amelie. Okay, now we'll move on. Okay, so the biggest thing right now, I'm excited because I finally had 1 year to recruit, one complete cycle. Many of you might remember last year when I was doing this presentation, me and our skeleton type staff, we had 2.5 weeks to recruit. We did the best we could. We did the best we could. And some of it really did transpire to being really good football players and good student athletes. I'm proud to say one of our young men has a 4.0 GPA that we brought in that class. We have others that made all conferences freshmen out there on the football field. So I thought it was a very productive class. But I was really excited about this year because we went through the whole process. We were able to do evaluations. We were able to do also not just video, but also get the games and really watch these young men. We were able to monitor their progress academically through the whole year. We also were able to have unofficial visits during our actual games that were being played here. So we had sometimes in the neighborhood of 15 to 25 young men that would come here with their parents prior to the game just to visit with us and see what Nicholls is all about. But the biggest thing a year gives us is a chance to really get to know these kids as people and also get to know their parents and see if they really do fit into our family at Nicholls. And I know for sure that these young men do. The other thing to note, in our process right now is that our philosophy, I just want to remind you what it is in the way of recruiting. We want to get great student athletes that want to play, of course, exceptional football, but I want them to earn a great degree. So I really believe we identified guys that have those goals in mind. The next thing I want to do, and this is harder than you think, is I wanted to try to make sure I pick guys that behave well. You understand? Because again, that's super important to me. Guys I like being around on a daily basis, and I feel very good about these young men and their work ethic. The other thing that I wanted to do, and again, sometimes you have to but I wanted some kids that come from kind of a structured program. You understand where they're supposed to be, when they're, the coach kind of runs it, a strict, situation. Their school is run kind of strict, because if not, they have a hard time adjusting to the plan that we implement here at Nicholls. So I just try to make sure, it's not perfect. I got a few kids that, again, we've just got to see how it develops. But what I'm talking about is I just want kids that do right. Now, it's important to note, too, the main keystone of our recruiting is our priority to emphasize local and in-state recruiting. And again, it didn't take me long, even though when I was here at the very beginning, that this is a regional university. And that if I want to fill these stands and play really championship football, then I need to be playing with some local kids or kids from the state of Louisiana. So I think in a few minutes you'll be pleased with what you're going to hear. The next thing that we want to do, and this is philosophically, is that we would like to do it through high school recruiting as much as possible. And we'll still have our transfer here or there, but I want to get these young men in here as high school and develop them. I want to develop them to be great players, and I want to develop them to be great students at the same time. So again, we want to build it that way. The next thing to note too is that our motto for 2011, we already said it a long time ago with these young men, our motto is one team, one goal. And the thing that you might not realize about this, did you know we have 72 young men on the team right this second? Okay, not counting the 20 we just signed, but 72. A lot of those guys help recruit these guys. See, some of you don't realize that. When they come here, we have hosts for these young men. They get to go out, at night and visit with more players on the team, and they get to ask those questions to those young men. But these guys, and sometimes they'll come back to me, and I know they have to some of our assistants that says, Coach, I don't think this young guy will fit. And they tell us that. And we listen and we talk and everything like that. But that's part of the recruiting process. Now also, today at 3 o'clock I have a team meeting with our guys before they run today. They've got some conditioning to do today. Okay? But I'm going to talk to them about our signing just briefly and just tell them you got 20 new teammates right now. Okay? It's official this morning. Okay? And they'll be excited about that because our guys, our goals are, first of all, we want to play championship football for sure. Okay? And we want to develop a championship team. One thing that I know we need more players. There's no question about that. And these kids on the team right now know that. The other thing that we need is competition for positions. And that's very important. That brings out the best in everybody. But do you know what these guys could tell you right now, the 72, if you ask them and said, you know, about the recruiting, they'd say this. They said they know Coach Stubbs and this staff has not told any of these 20 young men and promised them anything except for an opportunity to get coached well, an opportunity to get a great education, and an opportunity to compete. That's all they've been promised. You know, you get into this recruiting, and you probably watch it on TV this morning, some of you. Some of them get promised this, this, and that. No, we don't have any agendas here. You're going to be part of it, and you're going to compete for what you get. Now, a little summary of our 2011, and then we're going to watch some video highlights of these young men. We have all 20 of them. But here's what happened right now in our 2011 signing class. We signed 20 total young men right now. We have 2 mid-year signees that are already here. They're already in class, lifting, doing everything they're supposed to be doing. Out of the 20 young men that we've signed, 16 of them are from the state of Louisiana. So 16 out of 20 are from right around here. We had 10 offensive signees. In the offensive signees, we signed 5 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 athlete that I term an athlete category. The emphasis in offensive recruiting for this year was that we felt like we needed to get solid up front. And you guys understand, if you understand football lingo, we got to get better up front. And right now, when we came in here, that was a position that our numbers were down tremendously. And I really do respect and like the kids that we have on the team right now. I have no problem. They're developing and progressing very well. But in that group, we didn't have enough players. We also didn't have tremendous competition for position. We were lacking in those areas. I'd like to share a real brief story. It's not going to take long. When I was a young coach, got my first coordinator job. I can remember this vivid. I was 29 years old and I was promoted to be offensive coordinator at Oregon State University, a Pac-10 school. Well, I'd just come off of BYU's success and this and that, but I never forget. I got the promotion and I went home probably to Sandy and I rubbed my hands together like that and I said, man, this is great. Just give me my quarterback and receivers and I'm going to set the Pac-10 on fire. Well, it didn't take me long to realize, after I coached a few games, where the games really played. The games played up front. So, what I'm talking to you about is that we believe we needed to solidify that area offensively. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you usually control the score. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to give Coach Uparessa a whole lot because our goals is to have about 14 to 16 offensive linemen on our team all the time. Okay? Now, the next thing to note is that we wanted to recruit more playmakers. And most of you understand what a playmaker is, but I'll give you a simple definition. It's a person that can take a routine play and make it something special. Okay? We had a few guys that could do that this year on the offensive side of the ball, that could do something on their own or make something tremendous happen. We don't have enough of them. So we went out and found some young men that can do their magic. Okay? And that's what we're trying to do. And many of them you might have watched if you followed high school football around in the area. You found them. And again, I'm super excited about that. You may note that 3 of the young men that we signed on offense all played quarterback quite a bit this year. That does not mean they're playing quarterback here, you understand? But they're athletic. Sometimes, you know, in high school football, sometimes coaches are forced to put maybe their better athlete at the quarterback position because that's what they have. But I tell you what, when they progress on to the collegiate level, there's another position possibly would suit them better, and that's what we have in mind for some of these guys, and they know it up front, so they're excited. The next thing to note about the defense, what we've signed is 10 defensive signees this year. 5 linebackers, 2 defensive linemen, 2 safeties, and 1 cornerback or an athlete, and you'll find out this cornerback played quarterback last year in high school. But he's going to play cornerback here at Nicholls. Now, the thing you might remember from the season, we had to do it in midstream, but we're really committed to it now.